Amelia Earhart, the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. A health department employee gives a smallpox vaccine to dancers at Billy Rose's Diamond Horseshoe nightclub in New York City in 1947. From 1909 to 1912, women in Virginia. A geisha after washing her hair before styling it in Japan in 1905. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, 1947. A couple is sharing a passionate kiss. It looks like they are deeply in love. They are standing so close together that their bodies are almost touching. The kiss is happening beneath the bright sun. They look happy. The Mammoth camera is the largest camera in the world. It was created in 1900. May 7, 1937, the morning after the fateful crash. The wreckage of the Hindenburg lies on the ground, surrounded by people in Lakehurst, New Jersey. Vice President Nelson Rockefeller flips off a crowd of young hecklers. This was in Binghamton, New York on September 16, 1976. U.S. Army Corporal Matthew B. Teachin sits with Airy, an Army Scout dog with a specifically fitted mask like that of his handler, during a gas drill at the Army base in Wildflecken, Germany in 1955. Soviet citizens are looking at the Wall of Sorrow, honoring the hundreds of thousands of people killed by Stalinism. In 1988, the Soviet government allowed information regarding the victims of Stalin's Great Purge to become public. An Apache Indian kneels and kisses the hand of Pope John XXIII during an audience with a delegation of Indians in the Vatican in 1961. She was the first African-American woman to complete Delaware Army National Guard Officer Candidate School in 1977. Adolf Hitler in Lederhose. An electric suspension railway. The patient's skin is burned in a pattern that matches the dark parts of a kimono they were wearing when the explosion happened. This person survived the atomic bomb. It was around 1945. World War I sound finders were used to figure out which direction enemy planes were coming from, around 1914 to 1918. A moment of relaxation for these civilians and French resistance fighters as they toast the liberation of France, Normandy, 1944. A woman's on a litter with two slaves. This is in Brazil, 1860. The Mottershead sisters, back in England, 1939, took in lion cubs. The zoo couldn't keep them during the war. Their father founded Chester Zoo, so the girls knew about wild animals from an early age. New York, 1950. A young couple is driving past Balanced Rock in the Garden of the Gods. This is in Colorado Springs, Colorado, in the United States. It's the 1920s. Children were exercising in a schoolyard in 1900. New Zealand soldiers are washing socks in wooden tubs during World War I on May 7, 1918. American gangster Alfonso Gabriel Al Capone, who became famous during Prohibition in the United States, was the founder and boss of the Chicago Mafia. All right, so, an Italian grocery shop in New York, 1943. British troops are posing with a captured soldier from the 12th SS Panzer Division. This happened in 1944. It's a story about a French man reacting to trying Coca-Cola for the first time during the 1950s. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland, 1885. The crew of the nuclear aircraft carrier USS Enterprise spelled out E equals AMC squared. They were sailing alongside the USS Long Beach and the USS Bainbridge on Operation Sea Orbit on July 31, 1964. The Spice Girls' first professional photo shoot as a group. Skateboarding in New York, the 1960s. Yuri Gagarin, April 1961. Marion Gaynor, daughter of New York Mayor William J. Gaynor and her pet crow Pete, around 1910. October 1931, Imperial Airways aircraft refueling at Semak, British Mandate, Palestine. Prince Charles Waterskis on his throne, 1970. The dummies were used by escapees from Alcatraz in 1962. Young fans are waiting outside of Marilyn Monroe's house in England in 1956. The sign says Marilyn's not coming out until 4 p.m. An Italian boy is giving flowers to an American soldier. The soldier's tank had stopped on the edge of Rome, Italy, in June 1944. There's a man working on a machine in a factory. This is in New York in 1920. digging graves. A white woman quickly blocks the path as African American people were about to go into the lunch counter of this downtown department store in Memphis to protest the segregation policy of the establishment. This was in 1961. This is one of the most evocative photos. This is a treehouse in the Koyari district of Papua New Guinea, from around 1880 to 1890. This girl's paying the penalty for having had personal relations with the Germans. Over here, in the Montélimar area of France, French civilians shave her head as punishment in 1944. The Kiss of Peace from the Tatler, London, England, on September 27, 1905. Silent movie production. Western star Harry Carey confronts a villain while filming the 1916 film Love's Lariat. Universal tour guests observe the action. A dog photobombed a photo of two ladies. It was shot as the dog leaped to hug them in 1911. New York Daily News photographer Phil Gritzer is being chased by criminals January 19, 1955. In 1975, during the rugby final in England, Her Majesty was in the stands with her entourage. A naked Australian man, Michael, runs around the stadium. According to rumors, the Queen fainted. The runner was sentenced to 3 months in prison. April 1942. DeLand Pool Aircraft Construction Class. Secretaries, housewives, waitresses, women from all over Central Florida are learning war work. There's a pigeon bus. It's from World War I and was used to collect messenger pigeons from the front. A German submarine sank a merchant ship in the Atlantic in 1915. Bob Marley, accused of possessing marijuana, is on his way to court in London in 1977. A B-17 Flying Fortress met a head-on attack by 3 fighters. The gunners downed 2 of them, and the third one had a dead man at the controls. The fighter smashed head-on into the No. 3 engine. It's a fairground date in Klamath Falls, Oregon, from 1942. The End of Prohibition, United States, 1933. There's a Tsam mask dance happening in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia in 1925. Franklin Delano Roosevelt at his birthday party. Everyone there was dressed as Romans. It was 1934. The world's first wireless newspaper was sent from WWII radio station in New York City in 1938. Kids are reading the children's page of a Missouri paper. A man arrested during the Zoot Suit riots models a zoot suit and pancake hat in a Los Angeles County jail on June 9, 1943. David Attenborough entertains Prince Charles and Princess Anne with a cockatoo. It was 1958. Women are wearing the trouser skirt, which was the latest fashion in Paris in 1911. It's a parade in Chinatown, Washington, D.C. from 1958 called Faith and Confidence. Queen Elizabeth II, when she was 18. Future 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, at the age of 20, is holding his pet dog Dunker in The Hague, Netherlands, on the 24th of August, 1937. Excuse our backs, our faces are dirty, around 1899. There's a fork in the road in Afghanistan in 1955. The effigy of Old Man Prohibition hangs above the streets of New York, right after the repeal of Prohibition on December 5, 1933. Mexican revolutionary leaders Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata are sitting next to each other at the National Palace in Mexico City, Mexico, on the 6th of December, 1914. Villa is sitting in the presidential chair. On May 4, 1963, hundreds of children were led to jail. They were arrested for protesting racial discrimination near City Hall in Birmingham, Alabama. Adolf Hitler, at 25 years old, enlists to fight in the German army. When the war ends, he will have risen to the rank of corporal and earned 2 Iron Crosses for bravery on the battlefield. Controversial New Jersey high school principal Joe Louis Clark in the 1980s. Clark became famous because of his disciplinarian approach to education. He was portrayed by Morgan Freeman in the 1989 film Lean on Me. The inspiration for Star Wars TIE fighters came from Vought F-4U Corsairs on the deck of the USS Bunker Hill in 1945. Schoolgirls are wearing gas masks. It's World War II. Early 1930s, Hoovervilles, where people who had lost everything during the Depression lived. It was one step before total homelessness. It's a beautiful family picture. There are 5 people in the photo. A mother and father stand on either side of a young girl. 2 more children stand in front. They're all smiling. In 1920, women voted for the first time, and many were drawn to Warren G. Harding's looks. Ironically, Harding had spoken against women's suffrage earlier, yet their new ballots pushed the handsomest man in politics straight into the White House. This is what Einstein looked like when he was in his 20s. June 17, 1922. The Washington Ad Club held a bathing costume contest at Tidal Basin. Miss Anna Niebel, a former Follies girl who lives at 1370 Harvard Street Northwest, took first place. The first World Series game in New York, 1912. In 1926, Mr. Barnard, a member of the London Aero Club, checks his canine co-pilot's goggles. They led an elephant through the streets in London, 1937. Jersey Shore, 1906. A Sandman in Atlantic City. Wilbur Wright circles the Statue of Liberty in the Model A on the 29th of September, 1909. Marilyn Monroe and a Navy pilot were snapped by Charlotte Brooks in 1952 for a Look magazine assignment called Helicopter View of L.A. Princess Diana was at Indian Castle Beach in 1993. (1923), the high school pageant. In May 1946, Albert Einstein defied the prevailing racial climate at the time to visit and lecture at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. It was the first degree-granting black college in the U.S. Imagine trying to sleep in 1860. It sounds like people had some pretty uncomfortable arrangements. New Madrid County, Missouri. A child of a sharecropper is cultivating a field in 1938. Parisians are getting around floodwaters by walking across rows of chairs in 1924. Jewish soldiers in the German army are at a Yom Kippur service, 1915. Martin Luther King and activist Matthew Almond were at the March on Washington for Civil Rights in August 1963. Danny Kaye, the well-known stage and screen star, entertains 4,000 of the 5th Marine Division occupation troops at Sasebo, Japan. The crude sign across the front of the stage says, "Officers keep out. Enlisted men's country. 1945. Navy flight nurse Jane Kendig is feeding an injured soldier on a return trip from the Battle of Iwo Jima in Japan during World War II. It was 1945. Four women were photographed outside a house in the slums of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, in 1899. The photograph was taken by the Health Service in preparation for an uninhabitable declaration. Muhammad Ali, 24, is flirting with his future wife, Belinda Boyd, 16, at a bakery shop in Chicago. They got married a year later, in 1967. Bald head polishers. Ted Spence, an engineer at the Los Angeles Brush Manufacturing Corporation, demonstrates the hairline brush on January 12, 1950. This is German trench armor. It weighed between 15 and 30 kilograms, or about 33 to 66 pounds. It was usually made of steel plates. It was designed to protect against shrapnel and bullets. John Voight with daughter Angelina Jolie, 1978. D-Day, Robert Capa, 1944. A father is helping his son feed a giraffe at London Zoo.